Again, it is.
Is there something that Zohran has done that is explicitly anti-Semitic? And I ask this as a genuine question because I haven't seen anything that he's said or done that has been genuinely anti-Semitic.
Yeah, I do agree with this. I think this was Ben's weakest point in this entire conversation.
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah.
Here's what Tucker Carlson wrote in his newsletter today, or what his newsletter says under his name. He said, "Is the incoming mayor a fan of Israel? Does he want the left defending?"
He's the mayor of one city. He shouldn't be giving his takes on international politics, period. Why is the mayor of New York City
Wait.
Didn't he
no
say
opinion
he
with
would
Hamas.
arrest
We've
Bibi Netanyahu if he came to New York? I believe he said that.
I believe he did say that, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if you saw, it was really weird. He went to Puerto Rico, like right after he won, and he went to some temple, or not a temple, some like a mosque, I guess, where the imam had made like kind of sus comments where it sounded like maybe he was supporting October 7th. It was kind of like vague and unclear. And it's like, okay, why did you do that? Like right after you won the election. It's very interesting, but okay. I mean, I know there's a lot of Puerto Ricans in New York, but it's kind of weird.
Never seen anything to suggest he falls into that.
Hold on, let me go back.
Yeah, where is it?
It is kind of shocking stuff. So here's what Tucker Carlson wrote in his newsletter today, or what his newsletter says under his name. He said, "Is the incoming mayor a fan of Israel? Does he want America to fight its wars? Not particularly. But a Jew hater? That's a different conversation. We've never seen anything to suggest he falls into that ugly camp. If we're talking about fighting the left, defending Zohran Mamdani, who literally said that he has no opinion whether Hamas should disarm, who posed..."
He shouldn't. He shouldn't have an opinion. He's the mayor of one city. He shouldn't be giving his takes on international politics, period.
It's hard for me to give any remotely good faith interpretation of that take because it's just so bafflingly dumb. It's not like when you ask someone a question like, hey, do you think Hamas, the terrorist organization, should disarm? The average person, the normal person, is going to say, why, of course. Hamas is a terrorist organization. They should, of course, disarm, right? I'm just a random person on the street. I don't like terrorism. If someone's running for political office and you ask them this very basic question, like if you said, like, well, do you support the Houthis blowing up ships, random ships as they go by? Do you support the Houthis, kidnapping people? And if you're running for office and someone says, well, I don't really have an opinion on that. I don't really want to talk about that. There's only one reason. Well, there's two reasons. There's only two reasons why someone would ever have that take. It's either because A, their take is the bad take that will get them in trouble, that they do support the terrorist organization, or B, they don't want to say that they don't support the terrorist organization because they're afraid that they have supporters who do and would get very mad at them.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to ask a mayor, someone who's running for mayor, a basic moral fucking question about whether they support an obvious terrorist organization and they don't want to answer it, that's very fucking important. It's not important in terms of like, will they have some sort of policy that affects Israel or something? They don't. It's important in terms of like, what is the morality of the fucking person I'm voting for? And that's so fucking obvious that it's kind of insane. This is to me like I don't even know what the good faith interpretation is. This is an insane take for him to say that it makes sense for a person to give this answer at all. I mean, we criticized Hassan. I'm pretty sure Asman criticized Hassan when Hassan gave that answer. He gave the same fucking answer.
He did,
one of the videos
yeah.
that we watched, where people were like, well, should Hamas, should they be replaced? And he's like, well, I don't, I'm not Palestinian. I can't really have an opinion on that, which is an insane fucking take. And we all knew that it was a bullshit take. And I'm pretty sure Asman knew it was a bullshit take and said it in his response to Hassan saying that. But now, for some reason, because Ben Shapiro is bringing it up, we're going to side with Zohran Mamdani doing the Hassan maneuver because, well, it's better than siding with Ben Shapiro. Like
yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw a clip of him responding to that and saying, I don't throw my lot in with terrorists.
Yes.
Very strong denunciation when it was Hassan.
So it's so fucking wild when people get completely trapped in like this. I don't know what the fuck this is. This is just the debate brain, anti-Ben Shapiro brain or what's going on. But this is fucking dog shit. This is a dog shit. I mean, a lot of his takes in this video have been like really bad, but this is like really a dog shit take. That'd be like if you ask someone who's mayor, okay, and also it is important. Wait a minute, like, God, this is the more I think about this take. When I first listened to this video, I like missed this. The more I think about this take, this is so fucking stupid. Because part of imagine that you have a person running for mayor, and there's some question about like the guy is Muslim, okay, and there's some question about like, well, no, he's not just Muslim, but he seems like he has very extreme views, as Mamdani does. Mamdani's father has made comments about that seemingly were like pro-suicide bombing. Mamdani himself, when he was doing his little rap video, was kind of like supporting terrorists. So there's a reasonable question. You can't say, oh, it's just Islamophobia, Sitch. There's a reasonable question about what Mamdani believes in his, his faith or what he believes in terms of, radical Islam and stuff like that. Imagine that someone's running for mayor and they have these questions. They're sort of like, okay, are they really like in favor of radical Islam? And you ask them like, hey, how did you think that October 7th was justified? And in response to that, they say, I don't have an opinion on that, or I don't want to talk about that because that happened in another country and I'm running for mayor here. It's like, whoa. Fuck you, buddy. Fuck you. You're hiding something if you don't answer that fucking question. And we all know what you're hiding if you don't answer that fucking question.
You're hiding your power level.
You're hiding your fucking power level. So don't give me this nonsense. Oh, well, no one could have an opinion about anything that's going on in the rest of the fucking world if you're running for office in America. That's a stupid fucking point.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the mayor of New York City giving his takes on international affairs at all? Like, what are we doing? What's the next one?
Mamdani, who literally said that he has no opinion whether Hamas should disarm, who posed alongside the 1993 World Trade Center unindicted co-conspirator, who would not disown global...
Does that mean that he agrees with them?
...globalize the Intifada, who suggested that...
I thought that he originally said the globalized...
This is insane.
Asmongold should pose with some pedophiles. He should pose with Mr. Girl.
Is everything just based around like who you don't like at the moment? Like, is all of your political positions, is it all just based on who you don't like at the moment?
I say it again and again.
This is crazy.
The number one epistemology is, who am I friends with the person? Did the person tell me? Okay, then it's automatically true.
If Ben Shapiro was not, if there's a completely different context, and I don't know, I have to go back and see it. Asmon's coverage of like the Zohran Mamdani Hassan thing. But when Zohran Mamdani was like palling around with Hassan, I'm assuming Asmon looked at that and said, wow, what does that say about Zohran Mamdani? I don't think he just said, well, that's fine. Who cares?
I'm sure he did. He hates Hassan.
It's totally fine.
We're in a bitter battle.
That doesn't mean, it literally means nothing. If Zohran Mamdani is palling around with Hassan Piker and doing high fives, he has to denounce him on stage, right? But if he's doing stuff like that, none of it matters. It doesn't matter.
The Infitata, I forgot how to pronounce it. I didn't like his initial answer, but he revised it and he was just explaining what it meant to these people. I don't know if he was necessarily supporting it directly. Enchilada? I know it's not enchilada, because if it was, I would support it too.
Whenever there's a New York Police Department boot,
I know for a fact it's not enchilada.
Mamdani
of the New York Police Department working with the IDF. How is that anti-Semitic? This is the same type of logic that if you enforce crime in minority areas, it means that you're racist. This is the same type of logic, just inverted.
I mean, I don't agree that it was anti-Semitic. I think it's anti-Israel. I'm not sure I understand his argument that he's making there, but
Jews.
Okay.
And I had tried to drive you.
There are 50 ways that you can criticize Zohran policies. Why are you choosing the one that's the most dubious and the grayest? Why are you doing that? Him being anti-Semitic is like this is a character judgment that can't really be quantified for sure. Why are you even talking about this? And also, like, by the way, tons of Jews there don't think he's anti-Semitic. Like, I know it's not a consensus. Obviously, there's not a consensus with this. But there's a lot of Jews that disagree with Ben Shapiro, too. It's not like every Jew hates fucking Zohran Mamdani. And I think that really... I think that people like Zohran Mamdani will consolidate and grow in power the more that they are misrepresented and mislabeled, in the same way that Trump and also Nick Fuentes have.
so I was gonna say that I agree with everything he said there. Because I do in terms of Mamdani. I think what he's saying is completely true. I think calling Mamdani an anti-Semite is stupid. It's not politically effective. I don't even know if it's fucking true. So I agree with all that.
Well, it's definitely
then-
true, but
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's true. I know he fucking hates Israel's guts, right? I don't know if hates Israel because they're Jews or whatever. I don't know. I haven't seen enough about him to give
they're
take
colonizers. That's why he
about that.
hates them.
Right, but that could be just because they're white people. So he could just be a fucking racist against white people. But then at the end, he throws in Nick Fuentes into that. What has Nick Fuentes been misrepresented about?
Mamdani will consolidate and grow in power the more that they are misrepresented and mislabeled, in the same way that Trump and also Nick Fuentes have.
How has he been mislabeled or misrepresented?
Yeah, I don't. That's strange.
Is he going to tell us?
Love and who you've been protecting, at least in my case and Charlie's case, for 2 years, who you've been completely defensive of. And Charlie and I both felt, and because we talked about this on my show, like, what's happening here? Why are they dropping charges of anti-Semitism against us when we love Jews and we're both open Semites? We're Zionists.
I'm not. I'm certainly not. I'll tell you that. And new footage wasn't a debate. Ben is so clearly morally and factually right. Yeah, I don't know about that one. And
Asmongold says Jews get out of the Middle East. Not welcome here. I mean, that's what it means to be
Right.
not a
right.
Zionist. So
Yeah.
Jews get out.
Jews get out. He didn't say, unless, I don't know, I had to go on the stream. He didn't say, how is Nick being misrepresented in any of this conversation?
Yeah, I
at
was
all?
going to ask, guys, look, we can have half a dozen examples of how Trump is being misrepresented.
Right.
I can't think of one of Nick Fuentes. Well, look,
No.
maybe Nick Fuentes isn't gay.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe.
Like,
Well,
maybe
come
he's not into cat boys. Okay.
on. I mean, of all the things,
spurious
that's true.
rumors.
Of all things, that's true. Nick Fuentes
Maybe
being a
he's
gay
misrepresented when people say he sucked Destiny's dick, right? Or Destiny sucked his dick.
If they said, Sitch, here's $1 million and you have to bet, is Nick Fuentes gay or not gay? I'm hitting the gay button every time.
Yeah, but
All right.
look,
That
we don't-
man is a gay cowboy.
if he means that, fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that's what they're talking about, the misrepresentation, fine.
Right.
I don't think it's fair to say he's gay. I have effeminate friends, Sitch. They're not gay.
Okay. I'm just saying, if I have to guess, if I had to put my money on one or the other, I'm
Well,
saying
look, if
gay.
you're betting, I understand. You think there's better odds for than against. That's
Right.
okay. You're entitled
Yeah.
to.
Yes.
I just don't think there's enough evidence to make that accusation.
He did get caught looking at trans porn